It started with a sound that didn't belong. Not a bang. Not a scream. A skip. Like when a video glitches and jumps back half a second. Aiden first heard it in math class. Mrs. Carver was writing an equation on the board. Factor the polynomial. Skip. Her arm snapped back to where it had been 2 seconds earlier. Factor the polynomial. The exact same tone. The exact same chalk movement. The same squeak. No one else reacted. Aiden's stomach tightened. The second time it happened, he was sure. Reality had stuttered. He tested it. At lunch, he dropped his fork on purpose. It hit the floor. Clatter. A girl at the next table laughed. Skip. The fork was back in his hand. Mid-fall. Clatter. Same laugh. Same tone. Same head tilt. The world was looping in tiny, broken fragments. And he was the only one noticing. That night, his phone glitched. He was recording a video in his room, whispering what he'd seen. When he played it back, he wasn't alone in the recording. Behind him, in the corner of his room, something stood. It looked like him, but taller. Its face stretched slightly too long, eyes slightly too wide, mouth unmoving. And in the video, it leaned closer to the camera, even though Aiden never felt anything behind him. He dropped his phone. Slowly he turned. The corner of his room was empty. His screen flickered. New notification. 1 missed call, unknown number. He didn't answer. Another notification appeared. Voicemail received. Hands shaking, he pressed play. It was his voice. Crying. Don't look at the walls, the recording whispered. It's not a glitch. It's a tear. The audio distorted, stretching unnaturally long. And it sees when you see it. The voicemail ended. The lights in his room dimmed for just a second. And in that second, the air felt thinner, like something massive had leaned closer. The next morning, the sky was wrong. Too still. Clouds frozen in place. Birds mid-flight, hovering. No wing movement. Just suspended. People walked normally. Cars moved normally. But above them, the world wasn't loading properly. Aiden looked at the school building. The bricks shimmered faintly, like a bad projection. And then he saw it. A vertical line in the air. Barely visible. Like glass cracked down the middle of the sky. He blinked. It was still there. A tear. In third period, the classroom wall rippled. Not violently. Softly. Like someone pressed a hand from the other side. The paint stretched outward in the shape of fingers. Long fingers. Too many joints. Aiden's breath hitched. No one else noticed. The fingers pressed harder. The drywall thinned until he could almost see through it. On the other side, darkness. Not empty space. Moving darkness. Something shifted within it. Watching. The bell rang. But it sounded warped. Too deep. Too slow. Like it was being dragged through water. The tear in the wall snapped shut. The classroom looked normal again. Except, Mrs. Carver didn't move. She stood frozen mid-step. Eyes open. Unblinking. The rest of the class continued packing up as if she weren't standing completely still. Then her head twitched. Just slightly. And rotated toward Aiden. Not turning. Rotating. Like it wasn't connected to her neck properly. Her mouth opened. Too wide. And from inside, he saw not a throat, but static. Gray, flickering, endless static. You're noticing, she said. But her lips didn't move. The sound came from everywhere at once. The air vibrated. You are not supposed to notice. Aiden stumbled backward. The classroom walls flickered transparent for a split second. And behind them, he saw rows, infinite rows, of classrooms, stacked on top of each other. Copies. Students repeating the same movements over and over in endless loops. Some of them looked up, all at once, directly at him. The bell rang again. Too loud. The sound didn't stop. It stretched, and stretched, until it wasn't a bell anymore. It was a scream. The walls peeled back like paper. The sky above split open along the crack he'd seen earlier. Reality tore, and something enormous leaned down through it. Not a creature, not a shape, just a vast, shifting mass of black static. Eyes opened inside it. Hundreds, blinking independently. You saw the seam, it whispered. Its voice wasn't sound, it was pressure inside his skull. You pulled at the thread. Aiden fell to his knees. Around him, the town flickered like a corrupted file. Buildings loading in and out. People freezing and resetting. Cars phasing through streets. We are the layer beneath, it continued. And you have stepped between. The world skipped. Everything went white. Aiden woke up in math class. Mrs. Carver was writing on the board. Factor the polynomial. He shot upright, gasping. Students glanced at him. Everything looked normal. Perfectly normal. He slowly turned toward the wall. No ripple. No crack. He checked his phone. No missed calls. No voicemail. His camera roll was empty. Had it been a dream? The bell rang. A normal bell. Kids stood up. Chair scraped. And then, skip. The exact same scrape. The exact same motion. The same blink from the same girl across the room. His blood ran cold. Mrs. Carver slowly turned toward him. Her smile didn't move, but her eyes flickered. Just for a frame. Static. You're still here, she said softly. No one else reacted. The sky outside the window shimmered faintly, and Aiden realized something far worse than being trapped. The tear hadn't been a mistake. It hadn't broken reality. He had. And now, reality was trying to fix itself. By removing the error,